Hi, welcome to this video which covers working with incidents within the Sol-Tec Service Desk customer portal. So we had an earlier video which showed you how to create an account and manage your account settings. So I'm going to go straight in here and log in with the account that I created in the last video actually. So let's log in. So here we are, we can see here I don't have any open incidents at the moment. I'm just a standard user, so I'm really only seeing my own incidents. So if you are an admin user, you will get to see incidents across the entire company. So I'm going to go straight ahead here and create an incident. Now, incidents now also include not just problems and issues and faults you have with your environment, but you can also raise service requests for things like you needing a new PC or a new user setup, and also asking questions with the technical services team. So really, the portal is going to replace the old support services email address, and everything that you do and all the interactions you have with the support services department will get logged, and you'll be able to track them and view them all through the portal here. So I'm going to go in and create an incident now to report a fault with my desktop computer, for example. So let's go in, we create new incident, and instantly I'm going to get asked for which service I want to log the incident against. Now, depending on what contract you have, you will see a different set of services in this list here. So I want to log a call with desktop support rather than server networking support here. So let's go desktop support. Okay, so I now get a question here to either report an issue, make a request, or ask a question. So reporting an issue is obviously, you've got a problem working, your desktop's not running right, it's slow, it won't power on, that kind of thing. Making a request really covers those incidents that are more to do with having a new piece of equipment set up or a new printer installed or something like that. And ask a question, well, that's obviously anything you want to ask us. So if you've got a query around your contract, or you're not sure if you want a new project set up or anything like that, really ask a question, and that will come through the portal. It will go to the engineers and the admin team here, and we'll get back to you through the portal. You obviously get email communications as we update the portal, but it really allows us to keep a good eye and respond quicker to questions which normally go to a mailbox and quite often take that a little bit longer to get to. So you give the issue a title. So let's just say desktop won't power on as an example. We can describe the issue in more depth if we need to. It's pretty self-explanatory there, but let's add some more text. So we've got a bit more detail there. I can add attachments should I choose to, and we can see those attachments go into the service desk, and that can be seen by our engineers and also yourself. And likewise, when we put attachments into a call at our end in the service desk, you'll see those as well. So we've got some options there about how many people are affected by this problem and how urgent it is. Now, obviously, the selections you make here really drive the SLA and how quickly and how important the issue is to you. Now, obviously, when these things come through, we do check the SLA. So, if it's a minor impact and you've said it's very important, we can renegotiate that SLA with you, and you will see things change there. But anyway, obviously, it's a desktop issue and it's not powering on, so it's affecting a single person, and it is reasonably urgent. Although I do have a laptop I could use, so we won't call it very urgent in this case. So I'm going to hit the save button on that call there. Now that, as soon as I hit save, that is going to generate a priority up the top here, and it's also going to create a date that it should be fixed by. Obviously, I am under a trial SLA here, so we won't worry too much about how quick that is. But there I've got it, so that's when my problem is going to be fixed by. Now in the service desk at the back end, we obviously see that as an incident that comes into the desktop support team. So everybody in the desktop support team would receive a notification now telling us that there's an issue with a desktop for the company and the user here. When I look in the email of the user, I'll see an email notification saying that the ticket's been set up there. It does take a little while to come through, so we'll go back and look for that email in a second or two. So that's now with the desktop support team. So at the back end here, the desktop support team guys are going to work on that incident and put some information in, and you'll see those comments. So I'm just going to take a second here in the back end system to act as an engineer and press a and put an update in. Sorry, so I was going to post an update very quickly and change the status of the call in the service desk here and hit save. So really, you've just taken a bit of a second there for me as an engineer to go and post some information into that call. So we'll now go back into the incidents, and we'll see now that we can see here that the call has just been updated, and it's still got the same resolution date. Now, if I go into my email, I'll see there that I've now got a comment added saying, "Can you check the mains power, please?" If I reply to that message and say, because I happen to have logged out of the portal, I don't want to go back in. So I was going to reply to the message here and say, okay, of course I have checked and the power is on, for example. When I send that now, so I've obviously replied to that ticket via email rather than going into the portal and looking at it. And we should see that within a few seconds or two, if we reload the page or refresh, we'll see that once that email has got to the service desk and processed, we'll see that there's an extra ticket, an extra piece of information put into the call for us. And we can communicate back and forwards until we have a satisfactory resolution, and that will keep adding comments into the discussion as we update that. So we'll wait in a second, and we'll see obviously that I'm sure we'll see in here when we go into the ticket in a minute or two. Once we refresh, we'll just reload the page a little bit. Obviously this is pretty much real time, so we go in here now, we look at the incident, and you can see there that you've checked it and powered on. You do get some time if you've put a comment in via email to actually delete it. Should you choose to, you get 15 minutes there in the portal, you can delete it, but we don't see that happening very often. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to act as a service desk operator, and I'm going to say, well, actually, look, that is affecting you. Why don't I escalate this and get it fixed quicker? So I'm going to change the priority in the back end of my system here to say that it's actually an urgent call. And what that's going to do is, once I change that priority, it's going to change the time and date that the call should be fixed by. So when I go back and look at my incident now within the incident portal, I can see that the date here is now changed to a resolution date of July the 26th. So you can see there that you have a target date of when we should be fixing that call by. And we obviously, as usual, do negotiate those with you and make sure that we're acting A, within the SLA, and B, meeting your expectation there. So that's logging. That is really basically logging a new incident. So what I'm going to do here is just let's just pretend I've resolved that incident, and we'll just say we've replaced the power supply on your PC. And I'm going to close the incident off here in the end of the back end of the system and save that. So what I'll see now is that I've literally gone in to the system as a back end as a user, and I've actually closed that incident and successfully resolved it. So we'll see here I'm still getting emails through to the service desk. The last one saying it's been updated, and you can see that I've changed the priority to urgent. I've just closed the call, so it'll take a second or two for an email to come through to say it's been closed, and then I can look into the portal as well and see if evidence now says it's been closed and resolved. And it obviously gives me a time again when it was updated by. Now you may go in and find, for whatever reason, that you want to reopen that ticket, perhaps the incident's reoccurred. So you can go back into a closed incident and reopen it, and you can also provide feedback. Again, you'll get a feedback email, so you don't have to provide it here. You will get prompted to provide that feedback, and I'll just provide it and say, yes, I was happy with the service, and I can put a comment in. there, and I can post that feedback against a call, and it shows that feedback there for you. Obviously, I can search across incidents I've had open for me, so I can look across the incidents, either be them open or closed, and search for things like power, and I'll see that there's a result there of things and what status it is, and where it's at the moment. So if you've got multiple calls open, you can go away and search for them there as well. So that covers really working with incidents, and you'll obviously see the more incidents you get, there'll be a longer list there. You can change the view and view it in more of a list mode. So if you are a power user or administrator, and you see a lot of tickets, you can change the view there, so you've got more that you can fit on the screen. I was going to flip back to my email now, because you'll see I would have received an email saying that the incident has been updated and a resolution has been added, so you can see that there and the times and dates that it was closed by. So that really covers working with a fault. Now, as I said, we can also log incidents within the service desk for activities such as, I'll just go back in here and demonstrate, making a request and asking them a question. And you'll see really that they've got similar look and feel, and they all work in the same way. So you can make a request, and that will log into the service desk, and we'll interact with you in exactly the same way for each of those. We can change the service we're looking at here, and log a call there for that different service. So that really covers off working with incidents within the portal. There will be another session coming up which will look at how we can take over your PC and how we start a remote support session with you against an incident. So this concludes this video. I hope it's been clear and you've enjoyed watching it. So I'm going to log out of the service desk portal now, and I'll speak to you next time.